Welcome, Sisters of the Longmont Stake. In the spirit of simplicity, I am going to share information on simple ways to obtain and store food. First of all, it's important to identify what to order. Identify non-perishable food items that you can use in your food storage and create a master list. The master list is created from looking at your shopping lists, pantry, your recipes that you enjoy in your family. One food item that you might want to include is canned meats. Canned tuna and chicken can be really useful in food storage. You may also want to include other items that you need for baking, such as baking powder or soda, yeast, also spices, maybe cornstarch. And you may want to add in some other non-food items such as toothpaste, different kinds of soaps for your dishwasher or for your hand soap, toilet paper, and go to the store with your master list. As you go through the store, mark down the prices of the items on your list so that you know what the best prices are, what the prices are in the grocery store. And then ask yourself, which of these items goes on sale and how much do they go on sale for? Then identify bulk items, such as grains for bucket storage. You may want to get bulk items such as rice, wheat, oats, beans. These are great items for food storage. Some of the sources for food storage are, first, buying clubs, food buying clubs such as Sam's or Costco. And these can be really good sources of inexpensive, large quantity food. But you do have to watch the prices and figure out how much they cost per ounce or per pound to make sure that you're getting the best price. Many Amazon food items may be ordered on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, which reduces cost. It's amazing how many food items are available on Amazon. The more items that you have delivered on a monthly basis, the more of a discount you receive. If you have one item that is delivered to your home a month, you'll receive a 5% discount. And then for every item that you increase that to each month, you will receive a greater discount. They have a variety of non-perishable foods such as rice in 10-pound bags, although you'll want to make sure and look at the reviews and make sure you're getting good quality food. Also cooking oils, canned goods, nut butters, yeast, spices, a variety of flours. Amazon also has dehydrated items, and you can just check the price list that you have. You've made a master list. You can check the prices with the master list and make sure that Amazon is the best price before ordering. And also, as always, try to avoid paying shipping on Amazon. There are a couple of sources locally for bulk food. One of them is natural grocers. This is the least expensive resource that I have found locally. Most of the food comes in 25-pound bags and some in 50-pound bags. They have just about anything you can think of, from any grain, spices, baking powder, beans. They have the usual and the unusual, and they have regular and organic items. Natural Grocers has had some issues with their internal system and with communication with their suppliers, and they have been rather unreliable. They promise me, however, that the situation is being corrected. So hopefully that will be a good resource for us. Simply Bulk is a reliable store. It's a reliable source of bulk items. It's the store on Main Street. This store is more expensive, but they have most any bulk item that you could want to order, and it takes about a week to get your order. They even have high gluten flour. They have powdered hummus and refried beans. If you miss those dehydrated refried beans from the cannery, you can get them there. Another source is freeze-dried foods. Companies such as Mountain House and Thrive have great sources for freeze-dried meats and even meals. So you can get, pre-made beef stroganoff or other items and just have a whole meal. All you have to do is add water. Now I want to talk to you about storage. When it comes to bulk items, it's important to have these 5-gallon buckets. You will notice that this says food grade on it, and it has a knife and a fork and a spoon. These are food grade buckets, and they are available at Home Depot. They are only $4.76 a bucket. The drawback is that Home Depot supply is kind of hit or miss. So before I go to Home Depot to pick up buckets, I look online to make sure they really have some in stock. And it will tell you. If you are lucky, you may also find the food grade lids that go with the buckets. They also have the knife, fork, and spoon on them. I haven't been able to find the lids, so I've been ordering my lids off of Amazon. They're inexpensive and they look like this. Next, with buckets, you will need to be able to get the oxygen out of the food that's in the buckets. So, one method to do that is to put the food into the bucket, the rice, the beans, whatever that you're storing, fill it up to the top, and then put in oxygen absorbers. The recommended amount of oxygen absorbers for a 5-pound bucket is 4 of these 500 cc oxygen absorbers. They are the large ones. I got these on Amazon. This particular brand is very useful because each one of these packages has 4 oxygen or absorbers in it, which is exactly what you need per bucket. The brand of these that I got on Amazon is Shield Pro, but they do have other brands, and I'm sure that they work well. One thing with the oxygen or absorbers that you want to remember is to not leave them out exposed in the air. You want them to use all of their capacity to absorb oxygen while they're in the bucket. And if you leave them sitting out, they'll be absorbing air from the ambient air around them. So you won't get as good a result. You will also want to have a bucket wrench like this one. You can find them on all kinds of websites. Amazon has them between $3 and $4 a piece. And once you have placed your food in the bucket, then your oxygen absorbers, and then pounded the lid with a mallet to seal it, you will want to get back into your bucket with your food, with your bucket wrench. Another way that has been used for a very long time in storing food in buckets is the dry ice method. This is a more complicated to explain, and so I have included a link that will show you how to do that, as well as there's information in this link about different kinds of bucket lids, and that could be interesting to you as well. Another thing we need to know when we're storing food is, what is the shelf life of these items? I remember going to Relief Society food storage classes, and they'd always pass out a handout that had all the different foods you might want to put in your food storage along with the shelf lives. Well, that's not even necessary today. Just type in the food item that you have into your phone, and then the words shelf life, and you will know You will find out what the shelf life is for that food item. Just takes a second. Then it's important to write the expiration date on everything that you are storing so that you know when it's going to expire and you use it up. It's important to rotate your foods in order to make sure that you're using the oldest food first. One method that I have found for shelves that works for me is to store the old food on the left side of the shelf and load the new food on the right side of the shelf. That way I'm always taking from the old and restoring food on the right side of the shelf, and it makes it easier rather than trying to dig and find the oldest food items. Another thing that's important to know when you're storing food in buckets is how to store them. It's important to store your buckets on a heavy-duty shelf or on 2 boards on a floor. Do not store your buckets on the cement. The chemicals from the cement can seep up into your buckets and contaminate your food. So right behind me, I have 2 boards, and you can just lay those boards right on the cement floor and just stick the buckets on top of them. That way there's this nice airway in between the boards and you have good circulation for your buckets. When we were safe at home last spring, I wanted to minimize my trips to the grocery store, and I also found a way that keeps produce fresher longer. And what I discovered was that you can put vegetables such as lettuce, avocado, even fruit, whatever you need that you think might spoil before you want to go to the store again. And you can store it right in a mason jar and keep it in the fridge, and it will last longer. Now I want to tell you about some mistakes that I've made. The first mistake is buying food that we wouldn't normally eat, but thinking that we would eat it in a pinch. Well, we never ate the food. It expired and we had to throw it away. The second mistake that I made was storing food that's in plastic bags and leaving it on the shelves, and it wasn't in a plastic container. Mice got into my food storage and ruined the food and made a big mess. It wasn't very fun to clean up. I have a friend who was storing peanut butter in Mylar bags in her basement, and a rat got into it, and that was pretty unpleasant for them. The third mistake that we made was storing buckets of food on the cement floor. The food had probably been sitting there for 4 or 5 years before I learned that you're not supposed to put buckets directly on the cement floor. And we did try eating it and got sick. So now I'm really a believer in storing your buckets on shelves or boards. That's all I have for today. I wish you happiness and success in your emergency preparedness and self-reliance efforts, and I hope you have a great day.